Welcome to Vinyl Verdict. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Adam.
And this week it's Adam's pick. Adam, what are we listening to?
We're listening to the debut album by Wilco, A.M. Wilco, indie rock legends. Led by Jeff Tweedy, the band has gone on to produce some of the most celebrated indie rock albums of the past 30 years, with at least one bona fide classic in the form of Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. But that wouldn't come for another 6 years. Instead, today we're looking at their debut. And for folks more familiar with the rest of Wilco's output, they may be surprised to hear that this is a alt-country record. Wilco was one of the two bands that spawned from the alt-country group Uncle Tupelo? Uncle Tup, after the departure of singer Jay Farrar. At the same time, Farrar would form the band Sun Volt. Tweedy and the remaining members considered keeping the Uncle Tulipo or Tupelo. I have it
Tupelo.
I have it as written as both right now, Tulipo and Tupelo.
I'm on the Wikipedia page. It's Tupelo.
Thank you, Jamie. They thought about keeping the name, but instead decided to change their name to the ironic Wilco, short for Will Comply. AM doesn't fall far from the Tupelo tree, though, maintaining the alt-country rock sound, and this was to the album's detriment, as critics at the time found the album to be just fine, but paling in comparison to Sun Volt's well-received debut. The band would go on to explore a greater variety of sounds to great success and would establish themselves as the legends that we know them as today. So the question is, why did I pick their debut? Well, it's the one I own. After falling in love with MJ Lenderman as of late, I was reminded of the alt-country debut that I have a soft spot for. It feels like this album to me is kind of Wilco's Pablo Honey. It's an early album that doesn't really sound like the rest of the band's career and is basically just always compared to the rest of their works. Like Pablo Honey, if you only exist if you're like reading a Radiohead forum, the way they talk about Pablo Honey is crazy because it's not that bad of an album. It's just not as good as like the rest of Radiohead. It's not as good as the band that made some of the best albums of all time. And this is the exact same case. I think this album has been a victim of eternal comparison, whether that was the moment it came out being compared to Sun Volt or comparison to the incredible Wilco catalog. This record is unfairly maligned. But hey, do you know what else is cool? Oh, we delayed this. We delayed the recording of this, but the original date was going to be one day before its 30th anniversary. So now it's a few days after this album's 30th anniversary.
And that's when we're recording it, eh?
So that's a great time to dig into it. But I want to know what you guys thought about the album. Jake, what about you?
I don't think it was a great time digging into it because I did not really enjoy this album. I've never heard of Wilco, but I definitely did not. I don't know why. I did not expect country. And I'm not historically a big country music fan. I looked at the album cover. I heard the name. I'm like, this can be like an indie rock album. I'm excited. It was not that. I just think it's not really the type of music I go for. Therefore, I don't think it's bad. It's just not really anything I would want to seek out and listen to. It feels like a first album, though. It feels like a lot of young or inexperienced bands I've seen where every song on this album has a short little jam at the end for some reason, and the verses and choruses repeat one too many times, which doesn't really work with the basic ideas being portrayed.
There's a formulaic guitar solo. Mm-hmm. There's a guitar solo somewhere in the minute 50 range of virtually every song. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the vocals are raw, and I think it works for some songs, and in other ones it's kind of I just wish he had more range or more power. And a lot of the songs sound very similar, but again, that might just be chalked up to the fact that I don't really know the genre, so I can't I can't pick the differences out as well. And I don't usually think that album cohesion is a problem, but this album kind of felt like there were parts where it's this is just 4 songs played in slightly different ways. So 4 different styles of songs, and every other song is just a different version of one of those 4 songs. Mm-hmm. I did listen to Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, and I liked it a little bit more. But even then, it didn't really stand out to me as anything super spectacular. I think it's just it didn't resonate with me.
That's less of a country album, more of an indie rock album.
Yeah, and I still didn't really enjoy it. So I just think maybe the vocals aren't for me, and their style just isn't for me. But what do you think, Jamie?
I think it's okay. It's not my favorite alt country album. I mean, I listened to Uncle Tupelo's debut album Anodyne just after I listened to this one, just to get an idea of what I was missing. For context, you described it as like a first album from a band that had never made an album before, but Uncle Tupelo had existed between 1987 and 1994.
This band released basically 4 albums before this.
Yeah. So when the band split, 4 of the members went on to become Wilco, and then the rest of them went on to become Son Volt.
Yeah, the one guy,
Jay Farrar and Mike Hindorn.
I don't remember.
Hairdorn.
Really, the 2 main songwriters were Jay Farrar and Jeff Tweedy.
That's right. Yeah, and they were the co-lead singers too.
So in a sense, this is still, like, you're kind of right in that this is kind of Jeff Tweedy's first time really fully solo leading the band.
Yeah, doing it on his own. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the album. I wish all the songs were as fun as I Must Be High, the first song on the album.
The first song on the album is really good.
It's really good. I really enjoyed that song. But the problem is that the rest of the songs aren't they don't have as much energy as that song does, or they go in a different direction. And I wanted to like it a lot more than I think I did. But like, as a person who sort of likes country music, like at least parts of it, it's not bad. I did like that it incorporated kind of sounds that I would have heard in like a Neil Young album, like banjo that is like very slowly picked is on this album, which is something I really like, because Neil Young really likes really slowly picked banjo. Banjo is not normally something you would pick really, really fast, or is traditionally really, really fastly picked.
What do you mean?
Well, like listen to
like bluegrass.
Yeah, like bluegrass is really fast. Like if you listen to like
you said, wait, were you saying that it is traditionally picked very fast? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know if.
Yeah. But like I said, Neil Young uses like really slowly picked banjo, like on Old Man. Oh, that's really cool. Cool banjo work. And this album uses some of that technique, so it sounded familiar to me, and I think that part I really enjoyed. And the songwriting is kind of hit or miss. Like Casino Queen is.
It's we'll talk about that when we get to it.
It's okay. Like some of the songs are kind of lame, but some of the songs are pretty good. And for the most part, I did enjoy a lot of the album, but it's not going to go real high on my list, but it's not going to go really low.
Spoilers.
I will say I liked it a lot more than Our Lady Peace's Spiritual Machine.
Listen, that's a win for me. That's a win for me.
All right.
Anyway, most of the stuff I've listened to from Wilco has been post Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
Yeah.
Like I really like their song Pot Kettle Black from that
Great
album.
Song.
I don't know. Most of their new stuff is independently released. They put out an album that was like on Bandcamp recently.
Yeah. I mean, there's Jeff Tweedy's a pretty active guy. He also has like some solo records, which I don't really understand. When you're the only guy who writes the songs for Wilco, why do you need a solo record? But listen, I don't understand the way that magical man Jeff Tweedy works, but I did read one of his books.
He wrote a book?
Yeah, it's called How to Write One Song, which is probably
tracks that I thought all of his songs sounded the same.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it's more of a thing about just trying to like begin being creative and like just write one song.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to write a bunch of things.
Is it like a self-help, or is it like more of like an
It's like a mix of a memoir plus self-help plus like
okay.
like a instruction manual plus like there's like literal like he's like here's a lyric writing exercises that I do. Or here's like how I like start figuring out songs. Here's like chord progressions. He's like here's so stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a cool book. But you know what sucks about books? You can't listen to them.
It's true.
You can now, actually. We have the technology.
Not a book.
I mean, I've listened to several books before.
No, you have. Yeah, what does a book sound like?
This is Dave Ramsey's Rich Dad Poor
You're
Dad.
thinking of an audio book. Also, what a pull. That garbage ass book.
You listen to Anne Frank's Diary. I don't know. There's the only 2 audiobooks I've ever listened to.
Wow, what
the
a
2
wombo
personalities.
Oh God.
Listen, I listened to Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I just had to hear the other side.
Yeah, let's give it one last listen.
To say goodbye. Miles have been swerving from side to side. You're gonna make me spill my beer. Dash 7 in the air. Drop to the sun.
I don't think I'm high.
I must be high. This song's really fun, dude. I wish the rest of the album had the same kind of energy.
It's funny that you think that this has energy.
It's fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
It seems like he's trying to sing a little bit harder than other songs. Because my only major complaint is that most of the time he's just like lazily singing. But this one, it seems like he's trying to sing a little bit more. He's got a little bit of a tune in his voice.
I think Jeff Tweedy's always kind of had that kind of quieter, more soft, laid-back voice.
There's some really good dobro in the background. The dobro guitar. I really like that.
Yeah, I think this is a great laid-back intro.
This is like an intro to a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like this could be Corner Gas's intro. I'd be like, sure, yeah, that makes sense.
2 guys, a girl, and
It's
a
a
pizza
very corner
place.
gas. That's a good pull.
Yeah, I like the little jam session in a minute 15 between the second and third verse.
Yeah.
It's a fun backing track. I feel like the lyrics are kind of whatever, with them not really having a whole lot to say and not singing it in a super interesting way. But like I said, I do prefer it a little bit to other songs. But I do find it just kind of goes by. Like it is like a theme song to me where you're not actually listening to the theme song of Corner Gas in this
What do you
example. It just is like on.
It's a great big place filled with nothing but space.
This is like the Big Bang Theory. Like,
What the hell?
no, I mean like
Leave
Also-
the bare naked ladies out of this, man.
Also, a good theme song.
the whole
the-
universe
it's
was
like
in
a-
a dense space. Apparently it's not that good.
They are beginning to cool. Yeah, see, everyone's vibing. Then the show starts, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, then you turn it off.
yeah, the little solo, the little jam thing. It's great. I wish the rest of the album felt as fun as this song does.
Which is crazy because the next song is, I'd say, the more fun track.
I hate the next song.
I think the next song is also more fun.
It's more fun though. It's about gambling.
Any song about gambling is a win in my book. Though Vinyl Verdict does not endorse gambling. Gambling music is a lot of fun.
Keep gambling. You will
I think
win
this song.
eventually.
I think the verses are not that great. I don't really think that the like
the chorus for sure.
what.
The chorus for sure is just Casino Queen.
Yeah, it's such a great
it
like
is good.
sing along chorus. You wanna scream that in like a bar, and also like my lord, you're mean.
Mhm.
I
This is
like
such a
how
fun song.
they fake that it's being played live. Like,
Do they?
yeah,
With all the
and-
gang vocals? Or
Oh,
what?
at the ending they have like clinks of glasses
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff, and like
and people cheer and stuff.
yeah, I think it's a fun vibe. It feels like a real like a good bar sing along.
No,
I
I
think
like
this would
Must Be High so much better. Than
I think I
this.
Must Be High is a better song. Don't
Yeah, okay,
get me
fair enough.
wrong there. I think this is more fun.
Yeah, I agree. The gang vocals during the chorus are fun. The fuzzy guitar paired with the cowbell and violin playing works really well together. It's like a classic bar Americana
Yeah.
feel.
Are you
fun.
gonna tell the story about how his dad made him write this song?
No,
Oh,
are you?
sure. His dad went on a riverboat with him, and he said, "Hey, this is pretty cool, right? You should write a song about it." And he like basically forced him to write a song about gambling and going on a riverboat.
Yeah, I mean, his dad was right. It's a good topic. And it's a fun song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how he corresponded with his dad.
I don't know.
Was it via a box full of letters?
Oh, man, you're just motoring right along, eh?
I mean, do you have more to say?
No.
Well,
but-
then I guess we're going at a good pace. I think this one, I like the more relaxed singing in this one. I think it suits the tone of the instrumentation really well. I could not connect to the lyrics at all, though, so kind of just
No.
like went by.
yeah, this one's this one's okay.
I like the country riff with the like a lot of the open kind of guitar chords and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a pretty catchy, fun little riff. It's almost, and I don't know if this is like a personal thing for me. It reminds me of like a lot of the like, it kind of has got a B&L vibe to the guitars in a way that almost makes me feel like it's juvenile, and maybe that's just because most of my listening to Bare Naked Ladies happened when I was a kid. I don't know. There's just like, I would say that this song has like a distinct lack of edge / sexiness
Yeah.
in a way
yeah, I
that's
understand what you're
in like a weird way.
It's kind of like a theme song. We're in this we've already repeated a kind of feel already where it just feels like there's credits rolling and people posing. It's
I think
just
when
so
you said
weird.
corner gas, I almost died when you said that, because I was like, that's like so on the nose about how some of the vibe is.
Yeah.
This is like Scrubs. I could see this song and playing in Scrubs at some point. Like it's so inoffensive, like you said, that it just kind of goes by.
Yeah, I think it's a nice song.
It's a song for a show about a guy who works at the post office.
Yeah, this show is called Box Full of Letters.
Oh, the show is called Box Full of Letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and
This
so,
could be the
what,
theme song to the King of
what
Queens.
are the three most what are the three most important characters in Box Full of Letters? He works at the post office. Is it like a
Isn't King of Queens? Isn't he a delivery driver?
Yeah,
in
he's
that?
a UPS driver.
Yeah, there we go. We don't
Holy
even
crap.
need to come up with a whole new idea. It's already exists.
Oh, we just need to make King of Queens 2.
Finally, King of Queens 2.
The Jack of Princesses. That doesn't roll off the tongue nearly as well.
Well, hey, you shouldn't be ashamed. The next song. Kind of weird. I don't know what he's trying to say in the lyrics. And the chorus is giving low-key gaslighting with him being like, do whatever you want.
To me,
Leave
it's-
if you don't think I treat you well, since things
to
shouldn't
me
be
is like
this hard.
I feel like this song's like, you know what, if your like relationship is falling apart, you shouldn't feel ashamed. You should just try and embrace it and like get it over with, like change, you know?
No, he says leave. It's like, go,
Yeah.
whatever, do leave. Like,
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't feel
that's just
ashamed.
not a very nice or productive thing to say to a partner.
It's kind of sad. It's more like, you know what, if I can't give you what you need, you shouldn't be ashamed to leave me. You shouldn't feel like this is a failed relationship.
Well, then he should break up or he should change. Don't put the onus on them. As somebody who's been the person who puts the onus on the woman, that's not a very nice thing to do. Sorry, past girlfriends. It's not a very nice thing to do, though. I think this song is the most engaging so far, though. I don't feel like the verses really like resonate with me, but I think it's more engaging in the chorus.
I like the mandolin on it. That's great.
Yeah, I thought it had a pretty okay solo in it. I note that the first 4 songs have a pretty okay solo in them.
Yeah, that's a great chorus too.
Oh, the
melody on the chorus is lovely.
Sure.
Stay with me, we should stay apart.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of a sad, ironic song about a loser guy who is like, you know what, you shouldn't feel bad about leaving me. I'm a piece of shit. Right? And Wilco has a lot of that sad but also kind of humorous irony in their lyrics. And I think that comes across better in their later works, because I think that Jeff Tweedy goes on to really hone how to represent his lyrical emotions in his music a bit better, as opposed to, I think, a lot of what they wrote on this album was a matter of safety, right? Because they had an established fan base already, and to be like, we're a new band and we're going to make a completely different thing might not land as well. And if you're worried about, so like, I think that they honestly, they speak pretty openly. I mean, Jeff Tweedy's a very open person. He speaks quite a bit about his own work. And a lot of the band sees this album as a bit of a failure because one commercially it flopped, critically it was not as well received. It's always in comparison to everything else. And it wasn't until their next album where they actually started doing more experimentation that they really kind of came into their own. And I think some of that irony that that Tweedy is famous for specifically is like not really, doesn't come across as well. But you know what? They can pick up the change, and I don't know, that's a bad transition, but the next song's pick up the change.
Pick up the pieces. I I like that it starts off kind of quieter. I don't know.
I think that the first opening line's really good.
Yeah.
If that's just your heart talking, I don't mind. It's like, you know, the idea that like he's probably, it sounds to me that's like the conscious of the image of like somebody like reacting, like yelling at you or like saying something that they didn't mean or saying something embarrassing, like not holding back their thoughts. And like, you know what? If that's just your heart talking, I don't mind, like, because I want to see the real you. You know, it's just kind of sweet. He's like, I want to hear what you have to say, even if it's not well thought out or put together or censored or reserved like we usually do.
Yeah, I don't think the relaxed singing works quite as well in this one compared to the last one. It matches the lyrics because it makes it feel a bit more like a raw conversation, but I feel like it conflicts a bit with the high effort instrumentation and the idea of, I guess it's kind of romantic, this continually falling in love and more genuine feel. Kind of feels like maybe there should have been more effort to show like that connection or that passion, but I don't know. I'm not really willing to die on that hill also.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first guitar solo on this track's really good.
Yeah, it's early too. Like it doesn't come up in the middle or the closer to the end of the song like in the previous 5 or 4.
Yeah, it's at like the 1 minute mark. You're like, oh,
yeah,
and
early
it's a great solo. I like the laid back vibe. To me, this is a very summery kind of chill, it's a too hot of a summer day kind of album where it's like you can't really do a lot because it's too freaking hot.
He feels relaxed because like it's so damn hot out.
You can't do anything but relax.
Yeah, this is like the montage in a Corner Gas episode.
this is a Scrubs song.
Sure, yeah.
This is a Scrubs song.
I can see that too. They have very similar energies for being very different shows. They're also very both music heavy.
The same era.
Yeah.
Corner Gas isn't that music heavy. Scrubs was like a song an episode kind of show.
Oh yeah, no, that was too song heavy. Except for it was good music, so I didn't mind. When they had Colin Hay guest star to play his own song as a patient, I was like, wow.
Yeah, okay.
These guys are jumping the shark. I love it.
I hope they have another season with none of the main cast. And after that we go into I Thought I Held You. I Thought I Held You.
Yeah, this is another song where I think the vocals leave a little bit to be desired. A lot of wavering words, and singing can start to feel a little just like off pitch instead of just, you know, what he's trying to do. You're the reason I've run out. I'm like, ugh. Doesn't hit for me.
This song is all banjoed up.
Yeah.
And the slide guitar too.
Yeah.
His similes also don't land for me. I'm like a songwriter. You're the reason I've run out of metaphors. Like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's just like, I don't
mean, it also is weird because like you're literally a songwriter.
you're trying to do a metaphor right now.
I think it's kind of funny though. He doesn't have a good metaphor.
I'm like a songwriter.
That's actually,
it's like
that's
literally
the joke.
you are.
That's the joke.
I know. I just don't like it.
I think it's stupid. It's a stupid funny joke.
So he says he's like a songwriter. He's run out of metaphors, and then he just stops singing. And then the band just keeps on playing slowly.
Well, that's the joke. That's the part of the joke, and that's funny.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like
he's like, I've run out of metaphors.
I'm a hip hopopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless.
Yeah. And then he just stops rapping.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it is a joke. It is just kind of funny, but only slightly. Instrumentally, things are fine, but I'm not. Again, this isn't.
Yeah, I think this is one of the. I think this kind of middle section of the album is a bit of a lull for me. This track, I think the next track, That's Not the Issue, is also kind of. It's fun because you get the throwdown intro.
You get the yeehaw.
Yeah,
Should we talk about that? That's not the issue. Because yeah, it starts off going. The guitar player is shredding, and the banjo's shredding.
It's twanging as all hell.
I love it. It's
a lot
so
of fun instrumentation. I do wonder what the issue is if it's not them cheating on each other. Because like they describe all these things like you've got a problem. I know, and it's not that you're cheating on me. I've got secrets, and it's not that I'm also cheating. I'm leaving, but that's not the issue. It's like what it. Tell me what
Pray
it is.
tell.
Tell me, please. I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's you.
No.
Oh, so you're
okay.
saying it's not me, it's not me, it's not me, it's you.
Na, na, na. That's a banger. Prozac. It's not me. Yeah, I think it's a fun pick me up to have this kind of pace, but it also still kind of has that laid back vibe thanks to the brushed drums,
Yeah.
the quiet backing vocals, the quiet backing banjos and guitars, and the vocals are of course laid back because Tweedy does not go hard.
Are we
Oh.
on side 2?
I don't know. It was released on CD, so.
But we're not CD consensus anymore. Where's
Oh,
the
I
vinyl?
forget. Well, Jamie, you could reach on over there and show and grab the vinyl.
One moment, please.
Yeah, I think this one's a good one. Even though, as I said, I think we're in a lull in the middle of the album where it gets a little bit uneven, and there's not real highlights until until a little bit. I don't know. This is a cool vibe. I think it's fun. That's laid back, and it's an interesting way to do a song that's so upbeat.
This is the end of side A. So side A has 7 songs on it, and then the second side has another 6.
So now we get to It's Just That Simple, which is notably the only track not written by Jeff Tweedy here, and it's not sung by him either. It's sung by another guy in the band who
Jeff Starrett.
His voice is so.
Wait, is his name Jeff Starrett? Something Starrett.
I don't know his name. And I don't care to.
John Starrett.
I'd gladly.
It's so funny, like it's so corny, swamp bog country type vocals. Civil.
He's the bass player for the band.
Yeah, I have no strong feelings about the song. I'm not a huge fan of the vocals or the slide guitar, but I'm not passionately against it, you know?
It's a pretty well instrumented ballad. I think that the vocals lose it for me. And it is a classic yearning country ballad. There could have been a better singer.
I guess. The song is kind of simply written anyway, so
It's just that simple.
yeah, literally. I don't know if it would have been improved by having been sung by Jeff Tweedy at all.
The slide guitar solo is really good.
Yes. Yeah, the slide guitar solo is great.
Ooh. Let's move on to Should Have Been in Love.
Shoulda.
Please tell us more, Adam.
I don't know, man. As I said, this part's a lull. This is also, I agree where you said this album kind of falls into this, like, okay, I've heard a song like this again. To me, this album thrives as a vibe to put on in the background more than a straight up ahead, super interesting listen. Should Have Been in Love is about, instead of getting all destroyed and caught up in your head about things about the relationship, you should have just been being active and present in the relationship. It's kind of a song about regretting not being present. That instead, I was always concerned about all these other things when I should have just spent the time with you being in love.
Yeah.
And it's a sweet sentiment. It's a great country sentiment. And I think a really good way of showing like the kind of unique angles that Jeff Tweedy finds in his lyrics, where it's like, that's a really good way of like thinking about it, about framing like being present or being absent-minded in a relationship is like,
certainly.
and I was like, I think it's a really beautiful way of doing it.
It's another great use of the dobro guitar.
Yep.
It's kind of a cool sound. So dobro guitar is kind of like a resonate. Well, it is a resonator guitar, but it's made out of steel and it kind of sounds neat. I don't know.
And the laid back vibe is aspirational. Lyrically, it's like slow down, enjoy it, be in love. Don't move so fast because the world moves fast. It was 1995 and he was talking about how the world moves fast. And now apparently the president can do whatever he wants any day. You thought the world moved fast in 95?
In 1995.
That guy's completely lost now. There wasn't even like the internet then. He was just around.
Okay, 1995 I was 7 or 8.
Yeah, and you were probably riding your bike to the schoolyard and using a slingshot and playing with toy horses, chewing bubblegum in your overalls.
Yeah, I did wear overalls.
Pranked your neighbor a lot.
Turtlenecks, a lot of turtlenecks. It's not a good look. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun to look back at the world and think it's simple from where you are. I bet you many people have done that. But yeah, I don't know.
No one's ever had that sentiment before,
wow,
Jamie.
that's crazy. Yeah, his laid back singing, I don't know if it's wearing kind of thin by this point, but like he doesn't really have a different tone. He just has one vibe.
He'll bring it on back with Passenger Side.
All right, let's find out.
A great song. Passenger Side, probably my favorite song on the album. I love the framing of the alcoholic friend who's complaining about his ride. He's like, stop, you're falling asleep at the wheel. Wake up, dude, I'm gonna spill my beer. It's kind of it's a very sad, pathetic character that's portrayed in this track. But there's the great chorus with the descending chord progression and yearning fiddle. It's also a cool metaphor for like, and that like it's the irony of being an alcoholic and then chastising the person driving you for not being in control.
He's like, I'll give you $5 for gas.
Yeah, and then he's like, you should smoke a joint. In the second verse, he's like, listen, man, you need to calm down. Why don't you smoke something?
Yeah, I like the relax. I'll have my driver's license again by June. It's like he's already lost his license.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to listen to the song, but it's funny. It is funny.
He says, roll another number for the road. I don't know if that's a common phrase, but that's also a Neil Young song.
About weed?
Yeah, sort of. It's also about like the Neil Young song is about it's about like being too drunk to see your hood ornament while you're driving and some other stuff, like being too high to
That's
drive.
a cool like a cool tip of the hat in this song then. I think Pastor Side's a beautiful track and one of the best on the album. It's the one I return to the most and gets stuck in my head the most.
The next song, though.
Yeah, Dash 7 is my favorite on the album.
It's another beautiful track.
This is the only one I was like, I will listen to this
you
another
like this
time.
song?
100%.
What? You don't like this song?
It's okay. It's literally about the airplane.
Okay.
Called the Dash 7.
That means I can't like this song?
I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
It's beautiful. It's so much slower. The more melancholy vibe suits that. And it feels kind of sleepy, which matches the relaxed vocals. Instead of clashing with the relaxed vocals in the high energy track, it just is low energy. It's like, finally, this is the music he should be making, which is just slow indie songs. The slide guitar also fits with this slower tone a lot better than the faster ones, because again, that's not really my genre. The acoustic guitar really stands out with it feeling like he's playing right in front of you, since you can hear his fingers on the strings as he slides between the frets. The only thing I could do without is the plain engine sounds that start around 2:30. It added a little bit of warmth that I don't think harms the song, but it also adds, 10 seconds on the end of just plain noise, which was unnecessary. But it's a really cool song. I'd 100% listen to this again.
I love it. It's so beautiful. And I agree, the way the guitar's mic'd is so good. And I love when he says doesn't make a sound and the guitar opens back up. It stops being muted. The slide guitar comes in with this beautiful open chords. It's such a beautiful, beautiful track.
I thought it was okay. I just thought it was funny when he said props, not a jet. Because, yeah, I get it. It's a Dash 7 is a turboprop airplane.
So it's got both.
No,
What's a turboprop?
It's like a piston-driven, propeller-driven
And Jamie doesn't know what it is.
it doesn't have a turbine like a jet engine.
But what's a turboprop versus a propeller?
So like a Cessna, like a little plane, just has like a slow spinning propeller, like an old timey warplane, right?
Yeah.
And then a turboprop spins the prop way faster.
Oh.
So
it's just a propeller.
It's like a very fast propeller airplane.
I see.
But it's not a jet.
It's a propeller plane.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
The only caveat is that like when you're on one of those things, it's really loud because the
propellers are so loud.
It breaks the speed of sound because it's spinning so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't fly. That's a lie. I go on planes.
I'm not an aviation expert. If you like to fact check,
Yeah, he's
us,
a train
write us
guy.
at it.
Yeah, my cousin is a pilot. He's gonna angrily comment.
God,
Does he have a
damn it,
blue-eyed
Jamie doesn't-
soul?
Hey, he's blue eyes.
There
No,
you go.
no.
Like the next song,
Just
Blue Eyed
West of
Soul.
the Sun Guards. Yeah, I don't know. The next song's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't
bad.
really understand how. So to me, I don't really understand how the term blue-eyed soul, when I think of it, is usually about like
That's your Holland Oates.
it's white dudes singing soul music
Yeah,
for a white audience.
Holland Oates is one guy, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mr. Holland Oates.
yeah,
So I don't really understand. Maybe it's just going above me why he means you have a blue-eyed soul. Because I thought there'd be more to it, but he just kind of says you have a blue-eyed soul.
the song has the best guitar solo of the entire album on it, around 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
It's got a very vibey guitar solo.
Yeah, it is not bad. I'm not sure if I'm just in a better mood after Dash 7, though, because it does feel a bit like previous songs, but I don't know. This one seems a little bit more interesting. Could be the more prominent acoustic guitar that I enjoy. Not sure.
I like how it goes to silence and then goes wow before the guitar solo.
Mm.
And it is a great guitar solo. And then that takes us to the final track, Too Far Apart. With the most generic drum beat of all time. My third day of drumming type drum beat.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 boom. Kind of a good vibe. I don't really ever think about this track when I listen to this album.
Yeah, feels like a lot of other things I've heard so far.
Yeah, and it doesn't. And usually, I look forward to the last tracks on albums because I feel like that's when artists kind of do something a little bit wonky. I do love the chorus on this song. But it is just kind of played like another song, and it reminds me of. It's kind of a similar chord progression to "Long December" by Counting Crows. And it's one more night in Hollywood. Which is a great song. Counting Crows?
You know, underrated. I've only listened to Accidentally 11 Mr. Jones, but
Have you listened to Long December?
I don't know what that is.
That's a great song. Okay.
So she said, "What's the problem, baby?" I don't know. Well, maybe I'm in love.
I think Counting Crows are correctly rated. But Mr. Jones is also a banger. I had their greatest hit CD as a kid, and I liked it a lot. But yeah, that takes us to the end. It's a nice chorus to go out on. But it's like a minor build. It's a low-key way to end a pretty low-key album. But what about the vinyl record itself? Well, this release in particular is from Vinyl Me Please. This was actually the first album I got from Vinyl Me Please. This was the first month I signed up. And it comes with a piece of art as well as it comes with a cocktail recipe.
Oh,
So interestingly, this was the 20th anniversary version of the album. And it's crazy to think that I got this 10 years ago. It's pressed onto a smoky tangerine vinyl that has a beautiful little red wisps. I think it's I really like the way it looks.
it's kind of orange like a goldfish.
Some would say. It's one of my favorite looking vinyls. And the sound-wise, like most VMP pressings, it is excellent. Also in the package, we get a booklet with all of the lyrics, some photos of the band recording in the studio, and some handwritten lyrics for Boxful of Letter and Passenger Side on the back. Also included with every Vinyl Me Please release at the time was a commissioned piece of artwork. This one's okay. It's got a little eagle holding some arrows with some roses. It looks like a tramp stamp.
I mean, that'd be a pretty badass tramp stamp.
I know. I would listen. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that's just the style of art it is. And the cocktail that came with it, I shall read to you now. Limonade. 1.5 liters of Topo Chico mineral water, which is a favorite of Jeff Tweedy's, 3 fresh lemons, sugar to taste, and lots of ice. And then I could read the instructions, but that was the cocktail. So if you're a cocktail kind of person, drink that while you listen to the album. I kind of went inside the album before I talked about the outside. So let's talk about the outside of the album now. It's this pressing comes in a gate it's pressed to a single disc, but it comes in a gatefold. And on the cover is the front of a old-timey radio. I don't know what the model is, but I could probably figure it out if given time, or just Google it. And the the back of the album is the back of the radio, but also has like a picture of the band on it as well as the songs for the album.
Oh,
and
it's not plugged in.
It is not. There's
also nothing on the display, so I guess that makes sense.
Huh.
Well, it's not a display; it's a radio.
It's so funny because even though like I've looked at it so many times, it's called AM because of the black square, I guess, which is the speaker with the frame around it. It looks like one of those old turn knob TVs. So I never really comprehended that it wasn't one.
Yeah, no, I thought the exact same thing as you for a while. It was a while I was like, oh, it's a radio.
That's
that
too many
more
buttons for a radio. I also want to say,
sense.
what do you need to control that much on a radio? Just turn the frequency.
It's got AM,
That makes sense.
pH, volume. You got equalizer knobs.
All right, what's on the inside? It's a gatefold.
On the inside is more pictures is a picture of the studio space with the band absent. It's a black and white photo
with heavy vignetting. It's like it's in a box or something. I don't know what it's got. Like a
it's inside the radio. And then that's the backside of the radio. Yeah, it's a nice package. I didn't pay for this because technically this subscription was gifted to me at the time.
Oh, cool.
But it was probably too much because Vinyl Me Please was always expensive. It was probably like 40 CAD, and this was 10 years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. But it was also a subscription that wasn't really available internationally at the time. So
Is Vinyl Me Please still around?
So interestingly enough, rapid developments with Vinyl Me Please.
At
the end of last year. Actually, let's just talk about it in the aftercare section.
Sure. Jamie, why don't you give us your rating?
I put this album, one moment, please. I put this album in our 26th spot. Excuse me, let me double check that. Yes, our 26th spot below Jack J's Blue Desert and above L'Orange's City Under the City. I liked it.
Nice.
I thought it was. I liked this album, but I didn't like it as much as other albums that we've covered this year because we've covered almost.
We covered like 42 or something.
Yeah, we're like 43
We're
or
at
44.
45, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, we've covered
recent.
we've covered a multitude of albums. It's sort of in the middle of the pack, so I put it in the middle of the pack. But it's definitely better than Our Lady Peace's Spiritual Machines.
I mean, you're wrong, but it's fun. I know you guys are doing it to spite me, but I know we all know you're wrong. Well, for myself, like sometimes the genre just isn't for me. And this reminded me a lot of another album that I could see why people liked, but just didn't click with me. So I'm going to put it right next to it in the 40th spot under Hometowns by Rural Alberta Advantage and above the Cars self-titled album. Dash 7 was really good, but other than that song, I don't think anything else really resonated with me, and it's nothing that I would really ever want to listen to again. Adam, what do you think?
I think, as I said, this album is unfairly hated. I think it's a pretty good time, and if you are a Wilco fan who hasn't checked out their early stuff, you might be interested, even if it's just a little bit of an artifact. And if you're an alt country fan and maybe are like me, somebody who has fallen in love with MJ Lenderman and his most recent couple of albums, I think it's worth to take a trip back to see the 90s country music that made him that inspired him so much. Granted, this ain't Wilco's best album. They got an incredible discography that is worth exploring, but I don't think that you should overlook this one just because the rest of the world seems to hate it. I put it in my 30th spot underneath Weird Al Yankovic's Straight Outta Linwood and above Foo Fighters' The Color and Shape.
Wow. Both the CD episode, which if you didn't listen to, go listen. Fantastic episode. And know what else is going to be a fantastic episode? Next week's episode, where we talk about my pick because we did our April Fool's episode, which was a topic. So we're not doing another one because we have lives. And I want to talk about another album I pick, which is Oh My Heart by Local to Vancouver band, Mother Mother. Very excited to talk about that. But let's talk about Adam's developments.
So, Vinyl Me Please. Definitely, Vinyl Me Please was a really cool. I mean, it is. It
I've
still
subscribed.
exists.
It's great. Not now, but I have before.
Yeah, a really cool record service where they do a lot of curation and send you high quality pressings of records every single month. They would even go so far as to do repressings of records that haven't, or original pressings for records that were never pressed. They were the first ones to do Fiona Apple's debut album. Was never pressed until Vinyl Me Please decided to do it. Now, recently, at the end of 2024, Vinyl Me Please ended their international subscriptions, which was a bummer for me as a Canadian who was subscribed. They are an American company, and they said no more international subscriptions. Then 2 months later, they announced that they were dropping 4 of their 5 subscriptions down. So they went from having a essentials, a hip hop, a rock, and then like a jazz and a classics like line to having just their main one.
I don't think that's happened yet because you can still select it.
Yes, I think they recently announced that they're getting rid of it. They've also announced that they're not going to be doing as many original pressings and shipping stuff. And it sounds like basically the company has very recently discovered that they have somehow no money and they are downsizing rapidly. And it sounds like they're trying to rapidly sell off stuff that is in their warehouses. They're encouraging more people to do swaps. They're sending out test pressings as apologies for people, which I think is kind of cool. But it doesn't bode well, especially because they like established vinyl pressing plants. They I know they bought at least one vinyl pressing plant that they like renovated to get back up and running again to start printing new vinyl. And there's a lot of concern in the community about it because of how quickly these changes have been happening and how unclear they've been about like the state of the company and stuff like that. But it's I think it's a real bummer because I've always really liked the service, even if it was expensive.
Yeah.
But I think what it offered was cool. They showed me a lot of really cool albums, and a lot of my favorite albums in my collection are pressings from Vinyl Me Please.
Yeah, that's really too bad. I've actually ordered quite a lot. I'm looking at my order history. I've got Man on the Moon by Kid Cudi, Jose Gonzalez's 2 records, EP 1 and 2 by Yeji, as well as her new album With a Hammer, A Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory, Justice's first album Cross, Juno by Remy Wolf, 8 Crazy Nights, which we talked about in the Christmas episode, which is awful, but I got through here, and Aaliyah's self-titled album. Like a lot of really good stuff. I even ended up ordering for Plouffe the 2 Mars Volta albums. So it's really a shame because they really had some cool stuff, and even if it wasn't, it wasn't only available through Vinyl Me Please, they had cool numbered editions with, interesting colors that still sounded good, and as well as the included artwork or messaging from the artists. I just thought it was really, really neat. So it really is too bad.
Yeah.
But, it is expensive. You're looking at $45 US, which is
And up.
$1,000 Canadian. And yeah, shipping can be a lot as well. And especially with things like tariffs and stuff happening where, international folks could be getting harmed by that, or depending on where their plants are, it stinks. It stinks.
Yeah, it's a bummer, especially because I think vinyl, I don't know if it's pressure if it was mismanagement internally or if it's pressure from record companies that have realized that the vinyl is like a very lucrative new aspect for their business as companies like Spotify start devaluing music more and more. It seems like despite the fact that vinyl has continued to grow year over year, there's not a feasible way to make it affordable for some of these more boutique companies. However, I think Polyvinyl is a company that also still does subscriptions. Also a great label that does great pressings. So hopefully they'll be able to keep going because it's honestly like a record club is a cool thing to be a part of, and it's kind of a cool thing that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forgot they did the Dolly Parton line too,
Yeah.
where she would pick albums or her albums get pressed as well, and like there's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like looking through even what they have now, it's like, okay, I guess like if I'm gonna buy any of these, maybe now's the time, because who knows when they'll be available, or how long they'll be available. They were always limited even when they were being actively pressed, and if we lose Vinyl Me Please, that'll be a dang shame.
Yeah, I wonder who
too
presses the vinyl for them. Like, I wonder if someone would take over their line, because surely they're just ordering the pressing.
No, they had some. They
own a
said
pressing
they
machine
refurbed.
now?
They
Okay.
refurbed a factory, but they do also were buying other pressings, and we're finding smaller pressing companies to help make records.
Yeah, support. If you know places that you support records or record labels that do so, 100% Electronica, one of my favorite labels, does a lot of pressing to vinyl, which I think is very, very valuable. Support them. You know, if you find value in something like Vinyl Me Please, even if it's just picking up something from an artist you know and already love, or use it to discover new stuff.
Yeah.
There is really cool value there. And we don't want just only London Drugs or Walmart or whatever big box store near you to be the only place that have records anymore.
Buy on Bandcamp. Buy from your local record store.
Christ, Jack White is doing a lot to.
If only made good music.
Oh.
I mean, Third Man Records is a
Just
pretty
kidding.
cool label.
Yeah, no, it's very cool.
That
His
is
music
crazy
is
to say
good.
that Jack
We'll do
White doesn't make-
Lazaretto one day, because I have that record that has like 1,000 secrets. Like if you, depending on where you put the needle,
you can take the label off, and there's like more stuff.
you can
on
play
it.
music on the label. Yeah, there's a hologram on one side. Depending on where you put the needle when you start the record, it's acoustic or electric for
That's
the first
last
song.
White Stripes album, right?
No,
No,
it's Jack White.
Lazaretto was his
Oh, sorry.
second solo album.
And the music is okay.
The Lazaretto, the song rips.
100%. So support local, support Vinyl Verdict, like, comment, subscribe, share us with a friend, and tune in next week. Oh My Heart, Mother, Mother, local band. We're supporting local as well. Perfect. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.